Hi, this is Quirky Critic, and without wasting time, let's get into the video. Now let's talk about X-Men, Mutants, Mayhem, and hilariously bad fashion choices. X-Men, or as I like to call it, Wolverine and Friends: The Awkward Teenage Years, is a superhero film that's part action-adventure, part allegory for teenage angst, and all kinds of unintentionally hilarious. Directed by Bryan Singer, this 2000 film introduces us to a world where mutants are real, misunderstood, and hilariously bad at blending in. Let's start with our main man, Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman. With his perpetual scowl, adamantium claws, and hair styled by a tornado, Wolverine looks like the world's angriest lumberjack who took a wrong turn into a leather fetish store. His gruff demeanor and penchant for growling make him less superhero and more disgruntled badger who just wants to be left alone. And those sideburns? It's like someone glued roadkill to his face as a practical joke. Then there's Rogue, played by Anna Paquin, whose mutant power is the ability to drain life energy with a touch. Rogue spends most of the movie looking like she just found out her favorite band broke up. Her constant state of distress and her southern accent make her seem like she wandered out of a Tennessee Williams play and onto the X-Men set by mistake. Watching her angst over not being able to touch people without knocking them out is like watching a soap opera where the protagonist's main conflict is an allergy to hugs. The X-Men team is led by Professor X, played by Patrick Stewart, who looks perpetually confused about why he's surrounded by people in spandex. His serene, wise demeanor is often interrupted by the absurdity around him, like trying to herd cats while delivering Shakespearean monologues. You can almost see him wondering if his acting career took a wrong turn at Starfleet Academy. And let's talk about Cyclops, played by James Marsden. With his laser beam eyes, Cyclops should be a force to be reckoned with, but instead, he comes off as a whiny hall monitor who got his superpower from a malfunctioning flashlight. His ongoing jealousy over Wolverine's flirtations with Jean Grey is like watching a high school drama club performance where everyone takes themselves way too seriously. Jean Grey, played by Famke Janssen, is supposed to be the team's psychic powerhouse, but she spends most of the movie as the third point in a love triangle, looking concerned and occasionally making things levitate. It's as if her powers are directly tied to how much screen time Wolverine and Cyclops spend glaring at each other. The villain of the story, Magneto, played by Ian McKellen, is a man whose master plan involves turning world leaders into jello. Magneto's ability to manipulate metal is impressive, but his costume looks like he raided a Halloween store clearance bin. His helmet, designed to block telepathic intrusion, looks like a rejected prop from a 1950s sci-fi flick. Every time he delivers a dramatic line about mutant superiority, you half expect him to break into a rendition of "We Are the Champions." Magneto's henchmen include Mystique, played by Rebecca Romijn, who is essentially a blue, scaly contortionist with a talent for bad disguises. Mystique's shape-shifting abilities are impressive, but the filmmakers decided to forego clothing her, opting instead for a body paint budget that could have funded a small country. Her stealth is compromised every time she leaves a trail of blue skin flakes, making her less master spy and more high-maintenance Smurf. Sabretooth, played by Tyler Mane, is the other henchman, whose primary role is to grunt menacingly and look like Wolverine's hairier, angrier cousin. Sabretooth's lack of dialogue is a blessing, given that his main form of communication is through roars and snarls. His battle scenes with Wolverine are like watching two overgrown cats fight over a scratching post. The plot of X-Men is about as coherent as a fever dream. Somewhere between the Mutant Registration Act, the Rogue Mutants, and the X-Men's attempts to stop Magneto, there's a storyline. But trying to follow it is like trying to assemble IKEA furniture without the instructions. You know it's supposed to make sense, but you're too busy marveling at the bizarre pieces to care. One of the most unintentionally funny aspects of X-Men is the fashion. The black leather suits are supposed to be sleek and modern, but they look like a cross between motorcycle gear and a dominatrix's wardrobe. Wolverine's complaints about the suits make you wonder if he's more upset about the impending battle or the chafing. And the special effects, while groundbreaking at the time, now have a charmingly dated quality. The CGI claws popping out of Wolverine's hands look like someone animated them in Microsoft Paint, and the wire-few fight scenes have a stiffness that makes you wonder if the characters are actually just awkwardly dancing. Despite all its quirks, X-Men remains a fun, nostalgic romp through the early days of superhero cinema. So grab your popcorn, suspend your disbelief, and prepare to be whisked away to a world where mutants save the day, logic takes a backseat, and bad hair days are just part of the package. After all, in the immortal words of Wolverine, I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice, especially if it involves explaining the plot. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Quirky Critic signing out.